Hey everybody. So I don't know if you've seen the thumbnail before clicking in, but today we'll be creating a charmed necklace because I have an order for one. And you can also create a charm bracelet or a charm anklet using the same methodology. And yeah, I don't want to make this video too long, but I will show you the basics of how to create a necklace that has dangling charms on them. So I'll show you like a little view from my laptop of what it looks like. So basically, this is what we are working on creating. For whoever is in the chat, if you can, please let me know if you can hear me by putting a 1. But yes, today I want to show you guys how to create this charmed necklace with dangling charms on it. And I don't have anyone here yet to tell me, so I'll just go ahead and get started. So one question I want to address really quick. Someone asked me why I work on my lap, and honestly, this is like the most comfortable position for me to work from. And thank you so much, Cynthia. I usually have a lot of stuff on my desk going on, so I usually just use my desk to assist me with like keeping things in close range that I need. I'll show you a little bit. I'm keeping my jump rings right here and some of the charms that we'll be adding to the choker. And these jump rings can be kind of like, they can be a little hard to create if you don't have a saw and, you know, the other materials necessary. I use a 12 gauge wire, copper wire for these jump rings. And if you want to make something like this but you don't want to make the jump rings, you can also cut them by hand. Then I have the link in my bio underneath this video on where to buy them from my website because I sell them pre-sold. Hello Lynn 2569. I'm glad that you're here and you're able to make it. I'll clear off my camera. Give this video a like if you haven't already. And yeah, so we're working on a charmed bracelet. You'll need 12 gauge wire. That's what I like to use to create jump rings. And then beyond that, it's totally up to your own personal creativity what wires you want to use and work with. But we will be using 20 gauge, and I'll probably need to use some 24 gauge as well. And yeah, that's basically it for the sizes of the wire. Yes, I'm so glad that you're here. So you guys should be a little bit familiar by now with the tools that I'm using. I'm going to adjust my lighting. Anybody who's entering in, please leave a like on this video while you're here. Let me adjust my lighting. I'm trying to make it to the post office in time, so hopefully I don't spend too much time here. But just to follow along, the way I start this is you will also learn how to make a double like linked. Let me pull up this live stream on my laptop so I can see what's going on. You'll see how to make a double link chain as well. Let me turn the live stream on. Please leave a like on this video. I've got 5 people, but I only see 1 like so far. So for starters, I use my flat pliers, the flat mouthed pliers without the rinds in them. And then I use the ones that have the rinds in them that are a little bit thinner. I love working with these two as a pair whenever I'm working with jump rings. This one, I use these to hold the jump ring in place, and I use these smaller ones to like help me open and close it. So you get to see what that looks like. Oh, you see 5 likes. Okay, great. it's a little delayed on my end then. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much for you letting me know what you're able to see. Okay, so for starters, if you can, get used to, that's all good. Get used to using your pliers as your fingers, where you're picking stuff up automatically with it because it's just like an extension of your hand, right? So when I want to start off this chain, I am picking up one of the jump rings, and I will open it by holding it like facing this way, like not that way. I want to see it. I guess it's like, you know, horizontally or something. I don't know. So I hold it like this, flat. I hold it flat, and I use my left hand, because I'm right-handed, to like just stabilize things. And then I pinch the other, hold on. Another thing is like sometimes I get a better focus when it's not over the desk. But actually I feel like my focus is acting up a little bit right now. Okay. So I'm opening this jump ring like that. Enough space for my jump rings that aren't open to just be able to slide onto it. When you're starting off, you can open one jump ring and load 4 on. So 1, they get a little tangled sometimes. Hold on. 2, 3, 4. I appreciate you, Lynette. Yes, please like the video to help the channel grow. So now we have 4 jump rings on this first one that we opened, and then the next step that I'm going to do is close it. So the reason that this works out, like the reason why I'm able to fit 4 jump rings inside of this one, is because I've measured how big I'm gonna make it. So I don't know the size exactly. I'll tell you in millimeters. Well, actually it's 14 millimeter, I'm pretty sure. Or I have it listed on my listing on my website. But let's say the inner hole of my jump ring is about 8 millimeters wide. Or it's maybe like 6. It's about 6 or 7 millimeters in the inner diameter. In the total, it's like a 10 millimeter jump ring in the full diameter from side to side. So if you don't make the jump rings big enough, you won't be able to fit, you won't be able to make this chain in a way that it can move comfortably. It might be like too jammed up. And if you try this, you'll understand what I'm saying. So I've closed the initial one, and these are just like, they need to be closed themselves. So I'm closing these because when I saw them, before I saw my jump rings, it looks like this long coil. And as I cut it, there's always going to be a little gap from one to the next, like this. And thank you, Patty, for tuning in. I appreciate everybody that's here. Please leave a like on this video. It'll help me out greatly. So after I've closed my initial jump ring, I'm going to close each one of these jump rings that I hooked in the inner side of it. So I'm just closing it to where it's like a smooth, nice, uniform circle. As you can see, as I'm working, you know, the wire closed, I'm mostly doing most of the work with here. I'm just using my left hand to hold things in place. Let me zoom out a little. Now I've got one more left to close. Since I use 12 gauge wire, this is a very strong wire, and since I'm doubling up each each jump ring, it's really strong, so I'm not worried about like soldering all of these closed at the end, because I just don't think that it won't be too much trouble of these opening up as a person is wearing it, taking it on and off every day. So once I've closed each jump ring that I put inside of this initial one, I want to take 2 in one hand and 2 in the next, so that it looks like this. And now we're gonna get a new jump ring and open it up. And I'm gonna put it through the sides like this. Like I'm gonna put it through 2 jump rings, and then I'm going to fold the other 2 over and put it through all 4 of them, like I did the original jump ring. And now that that is closed, we now have the beginning of our chain, our doubling chain. And the rest of the process will just be like building it, going this way. So what I just showed you was a quick way to start off this double jump ring chain. And then I'm going to show you another way. If that was confusing for you, I'm going to show you another way to start it off as well. You want to make sure that like this, the way I just closed this, it wasn't like even. So you want to make sure the way that you're closing them, that you're not moving things too out of place. Like this, now it's too wide and it's misshapen, and I don't want to, move it. I'm not going to use this one anymore. I was like manipulating this one to show you that it's like, you want to keep the circle as perfect as you can and aligned with the other end. So I'm going to discard this jump ring and open this one slightly, keeping it aligned, not like going out like this. You just grabbing one end and the other end, and you're opening it. You don't want to like open it and go like that. You just want to open it slightly so that there's enough room for you to fit whatever through it that you need to fit through. And I'm also going to get to your questions. I saw that there was a few in there. So I'm going to show you guys the other way to start a chain in case I lost anybody on the way that I just started it. Okay, the next way, an easier way to start it, which is a little bit more time consuming than what I just showed you. You open one jump ring and you just weave 2 jump rings onto it like that. You close it, close these, now you can see that I have 1, 2, and 3. So you also could have like opened one, put one on, closed it, and then opened this one and put that one on, closed it. But this way was just a little bit quicker. So now you put these 2 together, and you want to take another jump ring, open that, and weave it, put it through the 2 jump rings like you did the initial jump ring, and close it. And then now you have like a 2 and 2. I'm gonna open a jump ring and put it through only 2 of them. What I'm doing is showing you how I started this one off. I think it's easier to start them off the way I showed you right here versus this way, because this way just takes a little more time. And if you just take one jump ring initially and load 4 on, then you could just split them apart instead of the way I'm showing you now. But either way is effective. I'm loading 2 on to this open jump ring. And after you get it started and you have like 2, 2, and 2, then you're just going to be repeating the same process, which I'll show you right now. Okay, so now that we have like 2, 2, 2, and 2, this might already make sense to a lot of you by now. Please leave a like on this stream, and we have a question. Patty says thanks. Thank you, Patty. How long have you been making jewelry? I've been making jewelry since 2020, January, but I did make something and I didn't really know much about it. I wrapped a few necklaces in 2019, in like summertime of 2019. So that was my first time making jewelry. I didn't know it would turn into like a career at that point. And yeah, everyone's just greeting each other, so cool. Back to this. Now that we have 2, 2, 2, and 2, we just want to keep it going. And so on either end, you'll be able to see that you can add 2 more over here. And it's up to you how you want to do it and which way allows you to work quickest. Putting 1 right here through the 2. Close. Now, if you want, you could just close it and then add another one through this hole, and close that. But if you want to work faster, this one that is open, I'm gonna load 2 jump rings on it and then close it. 1, 2, and close. If this is making sense to you guys, please let me know. I also sell these bracelets. If you wanted to like buy one already and just like make your own charms to attach to it, you could do that too. That one is not in my bio, but it is on my website under bracelets, chain bracelets. I make this as a chain necklace too on my website. So you guys can see I'm just making this chain longer and longer. And I'm not gonna do like the whole length. I have to make 15 inches worth of this chain. The one I showed you earlier, I'm attaching it to this one. Yes, this is 12 gauge copper wire. This particular one, I get a really big reel that's like 1,200 feet long from Home Depot. From the brand Cerro wire, Cerro wire. Okay, so I would just want to get a little length going so then I can come around and show you guys how to attach and how to create charms to attach to this chain. So again, to repeat, my chain is getting longer because what I'm doing is I'm adding 1 jump ring to the end of the chain. Once I add it, I put 2 jump rings onto that open jump ring and I close it. And then I close these jump rings that I have just added. And then I open another one. And I want to double it up through the previous ending part. This is the new ending part, but I want to double it up through that hole so that I always have 2 connecting by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. And then I connect it through the the outermost ends of the new ending part of the jump ring. This is what it's looking like. And we have a comment. Kwandam. Hi there. Your jewelry is beautiful and unique. Thanks for sharing. Peace, love, and light. I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you guys put a like on this video. Let's try to get to 10. It looks like on my end that we're at 6. Maybe it's more on your end, but let's get it in. So I'm going to do a few more. You guys can just kind of watch that process. And then we'll start adding charms. I'm usually listening to like music or watching something, or helps me move even quicker. Okay, cool. Lynette. Wait, hold on. Let's okay. I've got Lynette as a moderator now as well. Appreciate the cool like tips that you're helping me with. And thank you. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Okay. So even though I'm going to make this 15 inches, I don't think I'm going to show that full 15 inches because I'm trying to be conscious of the timing that I have to manage in real time. Like I need to actually finish this order and go to the post office. But I will show you guys a little something. It usually takes me about a little bit over an hour to make one of these bracelets. And that's including the time that it took me to saw all of the jump rings together. And I feel like my autofocus is just not that clear today, which I hate. Sometimes they get a little jammed up like this. And to fix that, you just gotta like pull them separately. Okay, so now that I have that chain started, let's see something. Now that I have this chain here started, as you can see, I have one of my ankh pendants that I'm gonna add to the middle of the design. And then I'm gonna like wrap this citrine crystal, this amethyst, one of these carnelian sun charms. And then I'm gonna add like some tiger's eye in and some chrome diopside crystal. Okay, so when I add the charms, I like to use these smaller jump rings that I use. They're smaller than the ones that I'm using to create the chain. For the visual effect, I like to use the smaller ones. I also created these myself using a steel rod. This is the steel rod that I use to create my 12 gauge jump rings. It's really long, and I got it from Menards here in my town, which is like it's like a store similar to Home Depot. But to make these, if you don't want to get these rods, you can make jump rings using these like jump ring maker pliers. But to make these smaller ones with the same gauge, 12 gauge wire, I use another steel rod that is a little bit thinner. Actually, these are the two that I use. I use this one for the 12 gauge, and I use this one for they're both 12 gauge, but like I use this for the bigger jump ring and that for the smaller. I don't have the exact measurements. I just eyeballed it at the store. They don't really say the diameter, I don't think, of how big those rods are. So I take the smaller jump rings and I open it up. I pick whatever charm that I want to hook it on to. And then I like to, if I'm looking at it this way, I'm going to be hanging the charms from the jump rings that are laying flat, not the ones that are going like not flat, like these. So I want to attach it through these two jump rings right here. And I have to make sure I've opened it up wide enough to do that. So I have like a large opening for the jump ring I'm working with. And I'm just putting it through two of the jump rings from the chain. That is another reason why you got to kind of test out how big are you going to make your jump rings, because I made sure that the jump rings that I'm using have a big enough hole in the inside to be able to fit at least 4 inside, but now it has to fit 5. So there's 5 jump rings going into this one jump ring, and it's with ease. It's able to dangle. Now this could just be a necklace if you want it. And as you could imagine, you could be putting like an even bigger pendant on it. This is a chain that I have that people buy a lot alone. And it's kind of nice, like masculine. So like a lot of guys like this style chain. But a lot of women wear this choker that I'm making. But you could even put like a bigger type of charm on a chain like this to where it hangs like that. So this video lesson is kind of a 2-in-1. Just showing you making a chain like this is like a cool chain to have for those bigger, more heavy-duty types of pieces. And yes, it's unisex. Like, I like to make everything unisex because I've had men buy stuff that you would think only maybe women would like to buy, and then vice versa. I've had women buy stuff that some people would think, oh, that's masculine. So I've connected this one. I don't have any other ones to connect yet. So now I'm going to show you how you can create some charms to add to your chain. And you can do this with even a chain like this, which is just a single jump ring chain versus the double. I could still add little charms to a bracelet that is this size. So it's up to you how do you want to make the base bracelet or necklace that you are adding charms to. You can make it however big or small you'd like. So I'm going to wrap. I want this to be able to hang from the necklace, so I have to wrap this crystal in a way that it can be able to hang. And I'm going to use 16 gauge wire to do that. Now, I have another video on how to wrap crystals, so check that video out. If this part is going to be hard for you to grasp, check out that video. I show you different ways that you can wrap crystals, but I'm going to show you now in real time. I usually like to kind of get things started by using my thumbs to just create like a nice curvature that I feel is just, part of my style. But for this particular necklace, I pretty much follow the same kind of protocol for how I wrap things. So I've made like a nice little curve, and I'm pinching my thumb to the wire and these fingers to the stone to hold everything in place as I'm rotating and wrapping this wire around it. It's really small, so it's like a little bit harder to wrap. But I just want to make sure I'm creating some form of a cage for my crystal so that it's not moving out of place. I don't know if I'll finish this before the post office is closed, but I will try. If you have questions, let me know. I don't know how easy or hard this is to grasp for everybody. This isn't necessarily a crystal wrapping video, but you can kind of see what's going on too. The main objective is you want to wrap your crystal and you want to make sure there's some kind of way for it to have some kind of hook or like some kind of bell thing that it can be able to leave room for it to dangle from your necklace or bracelet. That is the main objective. So wrap it in whatever way your creativity leads you to. Yes, this is a 2-for-1. Yay, happy I made it alive. I'm happy you made it too. PTB Designs for you. Cool name. And yeah, don't feel free to ask questions if anybody has any questions. The questions will make me a better teacher as well. Yeah, I have an hour, and there's another post office that is open 30 minutes longer. I don't know what time it is right now. Yeah, there's one that closes at 6, so that's when I'm really pushing it. I try to make it to that post office. 6:30, I mean. I try to make it to that one. Now, the video that I made about how to make a chain like this, I showed you how to create this like bell thing right here. So revisit that live stream if you want to, because this just shows you how to make sure you have some kind of bell to be able to make things connect to one another. And I'm doing that same methodology right here. Yeah, that one is in Clayton, Andre. Cool, so we have this thank you crafting and cocktails. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're feeling inspired. So now we have this cool, I'm trying to zoom in, this cool little cute little charm crystal. This is pretty strong, but what I'm gonna do next, some people are living really fun, adventurous lifestyles, and they might be banging this necklace around and putting it on the table, taking it off, and just knocking it up a lot. So my main objective is to make sure this is secure. And when I want to secure things, I'm usually gonna use some 20 gauge wire to just tie to enforce this cage to this crystal, so that over time this crystal is not gonna leave this cage. Because if I were to grab this strong enough, I could easily open this up and bend it out of place, and now the crystal is at risk of falling out. And people pay good money, and I also put a lot of work, like hard work, into my creation. So I want to make sure that everything is nice and secure for the long run. So even though this is secure right now, and I could drop it and would it fall out of this cage thing that I've created, I still want to reinforce it just a little bit more. So I find little gaps to where I can maneuver the 20 gauge through to connect one part of the design to the next. And it also adds to the design too, because I just want to make sure it all stays tight and that crystal never falls out, unless someone is like intentionally trying to cut things open and stuff. Okay, I'm just gonna end it right here. So a good rule of thumb is to try to connect a part of the design that's at the top to some part of the design that's at the bottom, because then it'll pull things in towards each other this way, which will prevent the bottom half from going out that way. And this is my own personal, reasoning and style of wrapping. So whatever feels creative for you, explore that. Yes, you can use thick wire to do really cool, great things. Susan Roberts, the thickest, I own it 16 gauge. I've got to do some shopping. Can you tell us the cost? The 12 gauge at Home Depot, I honestly do not remember the cost of they sell it by the foot. Maybe I don't know how much it is by the foot. But the whole reel, if you buy the whole reel, it's going to be around like $300. And the reel looks like, you can kind of see it underneath my desk. It comes in a big form like this. I'll do a video sometime on these reels. I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that next live stream. But, yeah, the brand is Sarah Wire. I have a little short, a YouTube short on how to get, where to get all of where I get all my different wires from. And you can get 12 gauge from Rio Grande too, and just kind of pick how many feet you want if you want to start with something small. But I do think the price is pretty nice at Home Depot, and other hardware stores like Menards and stuff sells them too. So this is pretty good. I might want to, no, I think it's good. Yeah, I'm almost tempted to do it to reinforce it just a little bit more, but yeah, I'll do it just one more, because if it gets caught in something, you never know, like, never knew. I wish I could like fast forward this part for you guys, but yeah, Rio Grande is like the place to go for good quality wire of all sorts. That is definitely where I get the gold and the silver from for a good, I'm gonna say for a good price, but that stuff is just expensive in general these days, because gold is like trading at one of the highest prices that it's ever traded at. This is why the way that just yanked, that's why you should not work towards your face. Don't work up in your face. It's good to keep your tools and stuff away from your face. I have gashed my chin before with flush cutters because of holding it near my face. So, yeah, I just don't recommend putting these sharp tools near your face. You want to protect your face. Okay, I'm just about done right here. This is also just a great thing for people who have like a lot of mental energy, or just energy you need to work out through your hands. Like jewelry making is just such a good craft for that, because it takes like your attention and focus, but it also like it fuels you at the same time, because you're creating something that feels very rewarding. So it's kind of like playing a video game, but with your hands, and then you could make money from it too. Cool. So this is good how I want it. Now I'm going to attach this to the chain as well. So I don't want to attach things from, like, I don't want to attach something right here, and then I don't want to attach something to this too. I don't want to attach a charm on each one. I want to make sure that there's a space. Like, I'm going to attach it to here, to all the ones that lay flat. Right here, and here. I'm not going to do it on here. It's going to be on all the ones that are laying flat so that the chain is not so jumbled up. But before that, I'm going to make one more charm. And we're going to use, we could use some amethyst. I don't have that. I didn't show you guys that yet, but for these, sometimes the holes in the amethyst are too small. Sometimes the holes are too small to fit my 20 gauge wire in the inside, so I have to then use 24 gauge wire, which is just a few sizes smaller. If I can use 20 gauge, I'm always going to use that because it's stronger than 24. But in the event I can't, then I use 24 gauge. So let's see if I can fit some of these onto the 20 gauge. I'll know pretty much right away. Yeah, this is not trying to go through. So we're going to use 24. So this is 24, which is thinner than the 20 gauge. 20 gauge looks like this, and 24 is thinner and looks like this. It's still strong, so it still gets the job done. And I'm also going to put a copper ball in the middle of the bead. Okay. Oop. I dropped some. Okay. So now I have 4 little beads. You can create your beads like however you want. These are just... It's like a standard design that I use. Okay. So I'm going to put this on here. And then I'm going to put some more of these amethyst beads on this side. I like to do about 4 and 4 because I like the height of that. You can even make like earrings and stuff like this too. Yes, please hit the like. Thanks, Lynette. That is greatly appreciated. Okay, so this will complete the bead. So to create this bead, I actually I fold the bottom end up. This is attached to my reel still. I haven't cut it. I don't want to cut it just yet. And with the end that is cut, I create the little bell thing at the top. Since the 24 gauge is weaker than the 20, I like to double it up. I had to refresh my live stream on the laptop. But yeah, there's 15 people watching, so hit the like. Hit the like, y'all. Okay, so I've doubled it up. By doubling it up, I just wrap this wire around my needle nose pliers twice. So yeah, you'll need needle nose pliers as well. And then I just made a video showing you in the cowrie video how to even do what I'm doing right here. So also check out that video just to kind of see how, like, you want to make sure that this bell thing that you've created is secure and like locked in. So that's why I'm now wrapping this little arm around the base wire inside of the bead. And thank you. I'm glad you liked the cowrie video. Okay, so this is what my bead is going to look like, but just to add to the design and also reinforce it, make it as strong as I can, then I choose to, thank you guys, I appreciate those likes. I choose to, this creates a lightning electrical kind of look in my opinion. I weave this wire through the bead, which also makes it stronger. And I'm doing it like just in a wild way, kind of. I just go up and then I go down. And I like this little electrical, like kind of lightning kind of look that it gives. And you know, copper is a electricity conductor, and it does have that electric feel to it. Tell me if you guys like this. Oh, thanks, Andre. Because this could be a pendant for a necklace. And now you have a copper amethyst necklace pendant for somebody. But it's going to be a charm today. But all these charms can be used as necklaces. And you could do this however many times you like. I kind of went crazy with it, but that's cool. Once you finish this part, you're going to secure this, you're going to cut this arm. And yeah, I'm glad you're watching because, you know, it's just so many new ideas. Thank you. Yes, very warm and earthy. So once you finish, you have to cut it. I don't cut it from the reel initially because you never know how much you're going to need. You don't ever want to fall short because then you might have to restart doing the whole thing. That's why I cut it at the end. Now that I've cut it, I'm going to wrap it around the loops in the inside to secure the end. So I'll insert it through the bail loops and tighten it up like that. And I like to, it just needs something to hook on to, you know. So I just like to do that a few times just to make sure it's nice and tight and secure. The good thing about the 20 gauge and the 24 gauge is that it kind of stays where you tell it to stay. That's why I like copper, because copper works with you. Like, copper is really malleable and easy to maneuver. Silver is cool too, but it's like, silver is my least favorite wire to wrap with because it's springy. It springs back up a lot. Unless you like anneal it, I guess. But I just love how copper feels to work with. Now we have this charm as well. So let's get our charm bracelet or choker, whichever we prefer. And we are going to connect this charm that we just made to there using one of my small jump rings that is smaller than the ones I used in the chain. I'm opening it. Open. I'm hooking my new charm on it. just so you know, this would be like a super cute necklace. This could be an earring. You could put an earring hook. Now you have cool. I've made some earrings like this before too. It could be put onto a piece of hair jewelry to where people can wear this in their hair. Like if you have dreadlocks, you can put it on your locks. But if you don't have locks and you just have straight hair, you could braid your hair and then put it over the braid. And you can put that like in the front of your face so that people see the jewelry right when they look into your eyes, which is really cool. But yeah, you could do so much. We could even make like a bracelet like this to where, you know, it's on our arm like that. But for now, we're putting it on the charm necklace. And remember, I'm not putting it right here. I'm putting it here. You guys can also thank Andre too for encouraging me to like do different types of live streams more often. And thank yourselves for these likes. I'm getting closer and closer to monetization. I just need like a few hundred more hours of watch time. So please watch my videos, share them with people you think who might want to watch them, because I'm ready to get monetized, you know. By now, you kind of get the gist of how this works. The only thing that you need to know after this step is how to close it up on the ends so that you can connect it and have a bracelet. This would probably fit a baby's arm, but yeah, or an anklet or a necklace. So for this one, this is the front face of it for me. Yes, when I get monetized, I'll let you guys know because I'm really excited about that. 2026, gotta make it happen. Even if I'm just making like $10 a week, that would even be cool too, because you know it's more than nothing. But so I want it to face this way. I don't want it to face this way or that way or that way. So with the direction that my bell is going, in order for it to face this way, the jump ring needs to be going through it like flat. But then that, if it is on there flat like that, you need another one so that it can remain this direction. Because what will happen is, if I just have it, let me show you. I can show you better than I can tell you. Open. So if I have it like in this direction, it's not gonna hook on. It's gonna hook, it has to hook this way, which then faces the direction of my charm. So to prevent that, I'll use this jump ring still, but now I'm actually going to use 2 jump rings. Because now the direction, the orientation is back to where I want it. Yep. Just like these. Cool. So I am going to, well, I'll do like one more pendant. I want to end this live so that it's not too long and I'm able to work faster when I'm not having to record and speak. But I'm gonna wrap one more and then I will show you how to put endings on it so that it can like hook and be able to open and close. So you'll basically get the gist of how that works. Time is 5:25. Thank you, Andre. That means I would essentially have about 30 minutes to make it to the post office, which I likely don't know if that's going to happen. Hey, Lester, I didn't even see you in there. I'm not leaving just yet, but bye if you're leaving. See you soon. Okay, so this is going to be one of the charms. Same idea. This, I have to use 2 jump rings for this too. But I had to use a thinner gauge. The 12 gauge can't fit through this hole. So I have to use something smaller. I don't have the size already cut that I want to use. I want to use this size. I might steal one from my bracelet. Because the smaller the jump ring, when you go down and like 12 gauge is good in this size with like not opening up because it's such a strong wire. But this gauge is 16 gauge. So if I were to make a 16 gauge jump ring in the same size, it's more likely to open over time because 16 gauge is weaker than the 12 gauge. But the smaller you make a jump ring in the circle, the stronger the jump ring is because it has less space for it to be opened. So this, I can pull this with a lot of strength. And these jump rings are not opening up. They are still like strong. And now I bet if I pulled just crazy, I could burst it open. But like, it's pretty strong. You can hear it. Pretty strong because they're tight, small circles. The tighter your circle, you probably heard something like that. The stronger, things are. So, let's see. I'm going to use one of these jump rings. I'll make another one for myself later. Thank you, Terry. I'm glad to have you here and look forward to you catching more lives with me. I probably will do a live stream where I showcase some of my designs. I think that would be cool. Because just seeing designs and stuff sometimes can be inspiring. So the problem here is I might have to use 3. Yeah, I gotta use 3. I also have like a community tab on my YouTube now. So like if you guys ever want to make posts on there, I think you can. That we can interact through. Because it seems like we've got ourselves a community building. And that's great. We're all part of like a jewelry tribe together. Which is awesome. How many years have I been making? You cruise right through your projects. I've been making jewelry since 2020. So it's been 5 years. And I can't honestly say that it's a gift to me because the comprehension of it is just like easy as 1, 2, 3. It's like easy as Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk. It's just something that's come to me. So that would be, you know, the reason that I'm able to cruise through it. And then I just do what feels right. I don't like to do things that are confusing or like frustrating when I'm creating. If it's too frustrating, I'm like, let me try to do it in a way that feels good for me. So like I said, I'm not gonna finish all of this off on camera, but yes, the pandemic, I was happy to stay in and work on jewelry during that time. So for the endings, I used slightly bigger jump rings that I created with these pliers using the second to largest setting. And then I actually solder them closed because these are the ones that have the most contact with the customer putting it on and off, which, and the hole is bigger, so it's more vulnerable to being pulled out of whack and being opened. So like on my final stages, I'll actually solder those closed so that it has like a nice sealed ending. I'm just gonna add 2 more here. And you will, if you missed anything, you'll be able to rewatch this on the replay. And I have all the links to where if you want to support, you can check out, get something from my website. You could even buy a piece that you might want to have in person to study it and see how it was designed, like being able to hold it, you know, in your hand and wear it. But yeah, and then, yeah, I have donation options. And even if you just want to browse the website and see how things are set up and what my designs look like, all of that is in the bio. So the last step is going to be, thank you so much, Terry. Appreciate the love. The last step would be adding these bigger jump rings in a clasp. I make all of my clasps because a lot of people make their own clasp, so I like to make my own clasp. When people ask, I use other manufacturer clasp if they prefer different clasps. Okay, so I'm adding the bigger jump ring. At the end of my design, I am going to go into my back room and solder it. When I close it, I'm going to solder it, put some solder paste on it, and fire it up and close it, and then I'll file it down. And this jump ring will not be able to open anymore because it'll be soldered shut. That's about as much soldering that I do because I don't have a real torch. I just have a handheld torch. But yeah, I would, use a slightly bigger ring at the end, put one of these hooks on it that I make. The hook has this loop so that it's able to open and close and connect to the whatever design you're working with. Even like in these type of necklaces that I have, it uses a smaller hook that I make, and it's able to open and close right there to hook on to this ending piece or the necklace finding. And then I shut that closed. I would solder it hypothetically and just file it down. And then this is how we would be able to hook it closed like this. And then you have yourself a bracelet or a necklace or an anklet. I wish I was able to do it all on camera, but I have a lot of work here to tend to and places to be. I still gotta do that human stuff off the camera. If you have any questions, guys, let me know. I'm making sure I'm caught up on all the questions and stuff. Yes, nice group going on. I got into way too many political videos, but I can't much anymore. Sorry, shop beautiful. Yeah, I watched so many videos, I figured I might as well start creating my own so people can have something new to watch. But yes, thank you, everybody. It looks like we don't have any, thank you. Looks like we don't really have, okay, Andres asked a question. What sanding paper do you use? Here's a little scrap of some, I go live sporadically. So with me, you have to turn your notifications on. It could be daytime or nighttime. Sometimes I get energy in the day, but what I've been doing lately is I've been fulfilling my orders and turning it into a lesson. And I'm usually like doing that maybe more so towards the evening. My brain has been a little scattered today. But the filing paper, I was looking to see if I have, I don't think I have the packaging to, I think it has like an alligator on it or something, but I get the sandpaper from Menards, and I thought the brand might be on the back, but it's P400. I get different variations of the sanding paper to where they are like more coarse, then less coarse, then less coarse. And sometimes you want to start, when you sand, you want to start with something that is more coarse and then reduce it to something that's less coarse. This is more coarse, so I might sand something with this first because it's more coarse, and then once I get it where I want it, I might come with some sandpaper, which is more gentle, to finish it off, to have something smoother in the end. And notifications, gas. I cannot focus without them. For you, I will turn them on. Only yours, though. Yes. Yeah. YouTube is always popping. Yes. So, okay. That'll complete this lesson. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I have notes of more lessons I want to do. So be on the lookout. If I can go live a few times a week, I will. But I am definitely aiming for at least once a week. But I've just been so fired up because of the support you guys show and the love that I'm like, it's giving me the fuel, honestly, to continue creating these lessons. So yes, Happy New Year to you, Terry, and everybody else. Have fun, enjoy yourself, create something cool, and maybe in the future I'll set up my StreamYard, and if you guys want, we can do an interactive panel where you can chat with me live for maybe a few minutes each and ask live questions and show me your designs on camera. Show me what you've been working on from these videos, and we can make sure you put your social media and stuff like on there so you can promote yourself and what you do as well. If you like that idea, you can comment a 1 under this video. Like if you're watching, well, no, we need to pick a different number. Comment a 7. Comment a 7 either in the live chat or on the actual comments of this video if you like the idea of us going live and showcasing your designs that you've been making, so that we can really boost the community morale of this group, and everyone can. And you don't have to show your face if you don't want. You could just do a hand setup like this, but also it'd be cool to see who I'm talking to. So yeah, that, just talking about that makes me excited, and it looks like you guys are excited too. So I'm going to write that down on my scattered notepad right here. Live stream, StreamYard, show and tell. We'll do like a little show and tell, you guys. And then we'll try to like, you know, we'll limit the time just a little in case multiple people want to be able to talk. So we will do that. And StreamYard's easy. All you need to do is like click the link that I put in the bio, and you'll be able to connect easily through YouTube. Awesome. Thank you guys. I had such a 7, but I'm getting started in wire working. That is okay. Every part of the journey counts. Happy New Year, Lester. And Patty, I had such a good time too. I look forward to more interaction with everybody. And peace out to you, PTB Designs. See you later, guys. Yes, a real village. I'm excited. I'm really excited. You guys can't see how excited I am. But yeah, see you guys later. Thanks for watching.